Hi, I'm Kathy Growney, and I'm the Library Director at the Tyngsboro Public Library.
I'm Chansley Joyner, and I'm the Head of Youth Services here at Tyngsboro Public Library.
I'm Lauren, and I'm a library technician.
My name is Sandy Emond, and I've worked at the library since 1998, so 24 years.
I'm Jane Curran, and I work at the Circ Desk, and I've been here almost 32 years. Because I'm the age I am, my favorite activity is having a snow day so I don't have to go to work, but sitting with the wood-burning stove in the family room, and in the morning with a cup of tea and a book, or I like to quilt, so I do a lot of hand sewing, or at night with the same book or stitching with a glass of wine. So I'm not a big want to be cold out in the snow.
I hate winter. I hate being cold. So probably my favorite winter activity is staying in and being nice and warm with a fleece blanket and either reading a book or watching a nice TV show.
This one's hard because I feel like I don't have like a normal one. So it's just like, I guess just watching Christmas movies.
Yes. Right now, my favorite activity is downhill skiing. I only learned maybe 5 years ago, and I learned on a mountain called Cannon in New Hampshire, which is not the easiest mountain to learn on. My friends are all expert skiers, so I decided I had to up my game, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's my favorite winter sport, I guess, although I do other things like cross-country skiing and just snowshoeing. I like a lot too.
Right now we're enjoying Yellowstone, and we watched 1883, which was the prequel to that, which was very good also. So probably maybe that's my favorite right now.
Rudolph, the 1964 film. That one's my favorite.
If I had to answer honestly, it would be staying inside and sleeping. I do not like the colds. But if I have to go outside, something I have enjoyed in the past is snowshoeing.
It's much harder to learn as an adult, for sure. So I was taking beginner lessons, and of course I'm in there with like these 3, 4, 5-year-olds who are just skirting down the mountain, and they don't understand why I'm not getting out of their way. And it's like, because I haven't learned to control the skis yet. So yeah, it is definitely harder to learn. It took a while, yeah.
It's kind of like, you might have seen it in older cartoons where characters will strap tennis rackets onto their feet and go through the snow. You basically have this big shoe that looks like a tennis racket. It's got like a grid, but it also has little teeth at the bottom, so if it's icy, you can kind of climb. And so you wear these big shoes that let you go through the snow without sinking into it. So you go on a hike and you walk, but you're in these big shoes. So it's kind of a cousin of cross-country skiing. I was on a trail once in North Conway, New Hampshire, and there were also cross-country skiers. And when they're struggling to get up the hill, I'm like, oh, so glad I'm on snowshoes, so glad I'm not those people. But then when they start just gliding effortlessly down the hill, then you're jealous. I'm like, oh, now I wish I was them. So snowshoeing, it's much easier. It's just a more relaxed activity.
I don't know when I first watched it, but I think it was like on TV when I was like really little, like 4. And so from there I just really liked it. I like the claymation. I always liked the claymation movies, like Shaun the Sheep movies and all of those. So
yeah, I've mostly just gone with friends in the past, different people, and different places. I've gone on more mountainous hikes, which can be a little stressful. I like just a flat trail.
standing in the snow when it's snowing, I like to do that. But like I don't do anything anymore. Like I don't ski or sled or ice skate, none of that.
The snowstorm of 1978, which, yes, I'm aging myself. I was a kid, and I was living in Vermont, and I just remember the walls of snow. There was so much snow you'd be driving down the road and the snow piles were well above the car, and yeah, it was quite the blizzard. And yes, and my dad would do donuts with the car in the snow and the ice and make all the kids laugh, and my mom very unhappy. So, but we loved when he did that. He would do 360s with the car.
Well, of course, when I was young, I liked going out and doing, the sledding, and I can remember going to Shed Park in Lowell, which pretty decent hill there that everybody used to go to when I was young. I can remember going there and almost getting pretty hurt a few times, they, staring into the trees or whatever. But yeah, we usually had a good time.
When a kid, not having to go to school, that was the nicest part. Just not having to get up and get dressed. You can stay in comfy clothes and not have to worry about driving or shoveling, and so.
As a kid, a winter tradition that was more unique to my family, or maybe I think it came from my German heritage. Santa Claus put the Christmas tree up on Christmas Eve. So the kids would all have to go to bed. We'd go to church, we'd go to bed. And we'd get up the next morning and we'd have to wait for my parents to get up before we could go downstairs, but we could see the lights. And we'd go down and there it was. Santa came and the tree went up and the lights, and it was just magical. And we could never understand why my parents, we'd get up at like 5, 6 a.m. Come on, Mom and Dad, let's go down. They're like, no, we're not awake. We're sleeping in. No idea that they had only just gone to bed because they had been up all night putting the tree up, so it would be a surprise for all of us kids. So now I understand.
I wish I could remember where I was, somewhere in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, but we did a mountain hike on snowshoes, and at the top was a frozen lake, but it was covered with snow. But it was very pretty to just get to the top of this mountain and see just this wide clearing that was almost not, even walked on. It was very pretty. But some people were walking just across the frozen lake, and I was too nervous to do that. So I went around the side because I could just picture myself falling in.
Well, pre-pandemic, we used to have a big Christmas party at our house. Cousins and family. Now we usually spend it, my daughter-in-law makes a great brunch and invites us up. They've got the 4 little kids, so they don't have to leave the house. So I look forward to that. Then we FaceTime our other grandkids down in South Carolina, and that's fun too. You see the Christmas tree and they're in their pajamas. Both families everybody has the same pajamas, so it's just nice.
No snow, that's what I want. No, just trying to stay healthy like everybody else, and happy and healthy.
Not yet. Hoping it's going to involve downhill skiing though, so I'm working on it.